Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So ultimately, each of you are here representing the services, and you are responsible for making sure that these private partners are providing safe housing, responding to maintenance on time, generally satisfying the terms of their agreements. In practice, these private housing providers are virtually guaranteed to make a profit. They get a base fee plus cost. Your big tool is the incentive fee. Now, DOD told the committee that the incentive fees were paid out about 95% of the time. And you heard the testimony from the companies themselves. Not a single one said they were ever denied all of their incentive fees, at the same time that we're receiving testimony about appalling conditions. So I just want to understand what's gone wrong here. How it is that these guys can get 95% of their incentive fees plus their base fee, plus their expenses, at the same time that we're hearing this kind of testimony. So let me ask my first one. Secretary McMahon, tenant surveys are your main tool to determine whether private partners are meeting their obligations. But those surveys evidently did not alert you to the mice, the mold, and the lead poisoning. So do you agree that surveys are not giving you a complete picture of what's going on?
Yes, Senator, I agree with that. And just so you know, what we see in returns on an annual basis is somewhere between 35 and 50% from our residents. So we're only getting a partial picture.
All right. And do you independently verify what you're getting on surveys through inspections?
Senator, the data that I just gave you is from a third-party independent, so it is...
No, I'm asking whether or not you do any inspections or contract with someone to do independent inspections. Do you only do the surveys?
That's correct, ma'am. At the Department of Defense level, we defer the rest of that to the services who actually own the...
So is anybody doing anything beyond the surveys? Secretary Beeler?
Senator, we have conducted annual ground lease surveys of the condition of the outside of the houses. We, as I started to refer, we launched an Army Corps of Engineers investigation where we surveyed 10% of all properties.
So last year, let me just stop then. You have a housing portfolio that's more than 200,000 units. Are you telling me you surveyed 20,000 units last year?
Senator, we focused on, we did investigations, inspections of the houses that they were pre-1978 that had lead.
I appreciate it. Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm short on time here, and I know we're trying to stay within a time limit. I'm just trying to ask, out of 200,000 housing units, how many inspections did the services do last year?
Well, for the Army, we have roughly 100,000. We have done inspections both inside and outside of all of the houses, to the best of my understanding.
So you're telling me you did 100% inspections last year?
During the course of a year, yes.
In the course of a year, you inspect 100% of the housing, and you didn't find any of this?
What we found, we took and had made repairs and instigated work orders.
Okay, so you inspected, but you didn't see the rats? I just don't understand what that means.
I'll take for the record and go back and provide what our inspections found that were, not acceptable and what actions were taken to address it.
So how many state and local housing inspectors were invited onto base last year?
Senator, I'll have to take that for the record and provide.
I'll quit because I understand where we are on this, but this just isn't right. These contracts are bad enough as they are, guaranteed profit, virtually guaranteed, in return for which they're supposed to provide decent housing. And the one tool you've got is to say there's got to be some performance evaluation here, and to give away 95% of the performance-based money at the same time that we are hearing from the people who live in this housing that it's rat infested, that it's dirty, that things leak. That's just not right. You're not using the tools that Congress gave to you on behalf of our service members. And until this gets fixed, we got a real problem here.